news, sports, weather, and much more. So, let's dive in. Demonstrating their outrage, about 100 parents of autistic children rallied against the provincial government on Thursday here in Windsor. The rally comes after the Ford government announced their plan to overhaul Ontario's autism program. The overhaul is aimed at clearing a 23,000 child therapy waiting list and giving parents the ability to choose what services their children require. However, now families will be given a lifetime limit of up to $140,000 per child. But according to protesting parents, the one-size-fits-all plan will not work. Parents say funding should be accounted for on an individual basis to serve the specific needs their children require. Whether or not their actions will bring change is yet to be seen. Now, Valentine's Day may have been yesterday, but Emma Butler wants to tell you how it wasn't just humans getting showered in love.
Adopt, don't shop. Second Chance Animal Rescue Windsor in Essex County held a Valentine's adoption event. They encouraged people to come out and see what was going on. There was merchandise, baked goods, cat and dog jewelry for sale, and also a kissing booth. All proceeds would go towards their organization. Danielle Rayam, the volunteer coordinator, explains why these events are important.
These are so important because these unwanted but beautiful animals need good, proper, forever homes. And so we just want to find the right family for each animal and so that they can have a happy, healthy life.
This has been Emma Butler reporting for MediaPlex News.
Now, we've got lots of stories coming at you like a herd of stampeding adorable puppies. But before he gets trampled, let's see Jordan Ferris duck, dive, and dodge his way through to bring us some sports news.
Well, Matt, much like that transition, Austin Matthews stretched his scoring streak with goals number 100 and 101 in a contest against the Vegas Golden Knights. So the milestone gave him a career total of 185 points in 187 games, and he's now on pace for 85 points, even though he was injured this season. And switching over to Canadian women's hockey, the Canadian team defeated the U.S. women last night in Game 2 of their rivalry series. With the series now tied at 1, Game 3 will happen Sunday at Little Caesars Arena and will decide the series. And in Toronto, Pascal Siakam of the Raptors has set his career high in points on Wednesday with 44 in 33 minutes. This is the 6th time Siakam has done this season, and considering he came off the bench as a 6th man, he's going for the most improved player of the year. Back to you.
Well, I don't appreciate you attacking my transition. I put a lot of heart and effort into that. But anyways, the weather has been on and off all week, and I, for one, am tired of my car being turned into a popsicle. Please, Christian Bodwin, make it stop.
Well, Matt, I hate to be the bearer of bad news yet again, but the cold is still coming. Today's weather is currently a cloudy 0 that feels like -6. Saturday is looking like a high of -1 that feels like -5 with a mix of sun and clouds. Ending off the weekend, Sunday is looking like a high of -3 that feels like -9 with scattered flurries throughout the day. Back to you, Matt.
Some adults may like to fix things, but others love to create, and Cassidy McNay has more on how more and more people are getting creative.
Painting the new yoga? Research shows adults' arts and crafts are on the rise. Whether for business or pleasure, the craft sector is booming. On any given weekend, paint nights, crochet circles, and other art classes are becoming the new norm. The classes range from free to hundreds of dollars, and many of them sell out. Eugenio Mendoza is the marketing director for the Art Lab, a new business in Walkerville who hosts monthly Bob Ross Paint Nights.
I think the reason popularity is increasing is because people are looking for an alternative to a night out. People are tired of just going to a bar and having a conversation over drinks. With this, you get to explore creativity, which is something that a lot of people don't really explore past a high school art class.
Whether you're a Picasso or a Picasso, arts and crafts are here to stay. For MediaPlex Radio, I'm Cassidy McNay.
While some people are getting creative with their hands, there are others getting ahead on the ice. Cody Wall went out to see about 2 rising stars in the Windsor Spitfires.
While the Spitfires' playoff chances are looking less likely as the season progresses, the team rookies, John-Luc Foodie and Will Cooley, are giving fans something to look forward to in the future. The budding stars are in the middle of 2 very solid rookie seasons in the OHL, with Cooley being the first 16-year-old player to score over 20 goals for the Spitfires since the 2010-2011 season. Foodie, on the other hand, currently has 41 points on the season, good for 3rd on the team in scoring. Spitfires head coach Trevor Letowski says Foodie's development throughout the season has played a huge part in the team's success.
20, 30 games, he's been over a point a game and just a real dangerous guy, so he's developed real quickly, probably faster than we would have even hoped. Become a real dangerous player in the league already as a 16-year-old, which is pretty rare, so lots to like about him.
With 13 games remaining in the season, the team will continue to need players like Cooley and Foodie to contribute on the ice. For MediaPlex News, I'm Cody Wall.
I think a lot of people used to pretend their hockey sticks were guns when they played growing up, but Jordan Ferris has a scoop on how some of Canada's finest are putting down their actual guns, but hockey sticks to their proper use.
From defending the country to defending the net. On Saturday, February 9th, the Canadian Armed Forces held their 2nd annual Rapes Cup Army vs. Navy hockey game. This was one of many events held Canada-wide to celebrate Hockey Day in Canada. The event was hosted and sponsored by Adopt-A-Vet, a non-profit organization that founder Brad Cruench says supports Canadian veterans in a different way. And before the game, the band and bagpipers played out veterans for the ceremonial puck drop that was taken by captains of each team. Cruench says an event on Hockey Day in Canada is a good way to raise funds and awareness for Adopt-A-Vet because of how deeply it's rooted in Canadian culture.
Hockey Day in Canada has been around since the World Wars and everything, and it actually used to be something that the armies would put on, so it's one of Canada's great sports, right? So it's awesome being able to get out there.
With MediaPlex News Now, I'm Jordan Ferris.
Ryan Percy reported on the groundbreaking of the St. Clair College Sports Park last week, but now the college has released their own official statement on the new facility. Let's check it out.
Bringing our teams home here to St. Clair College on campus has been very important to us. But the financial constraints associated with capital spending within the college had prevented us from carrying out this development until now.
This multi-sport facility will provide a venue for people to come together and to participate in recreational and competitive athletic programming in a state-of-the-art facility. And by looking at the pictures, it certainly is going to be state-of-the-art.
Tennis is a community builder for all ages to enjoy. So we are so proud to be a part of this, and we're very excited for the things to come.
All of those things are life lessons that, believe me, you will use and you will lever. A person that contributes in the community has to be a well-rounded person. You can't be one-dimensional, and sport is all a part of that.
I bless all of you. I wish you all the best at school. I wish you the best, and I still think the students are the best-looking crew in here, but my kids are 18 to 31, and I always thought they were better looking. My wife says I'm not that good looking anymore without my hair, so I live in reality. So bless all of you, and take care now.
And so today, this is great news for the internal community at St. Clair College. What an opportunity to be able to sell the college. And I'm excited for Patty, and I'm excited for the team to be able to go out and sell the college with the new facilities that have been built and the new facilities that are about to be built. And I'm excited for the community because what you're building here fills a gap that we see in our community, especially on the tennis side.
I must say this is the premier college in all of Canada. So congratulations. Thank you to the generosity of our donors, and I can't wait to partake in this wonderful facility.
The student leaders who have been associated with this project have certainly proven themselves to be innovative, conscientious, intelligent, and forward-thinking people.
We're very excited to be working with the Fortis Group as the general contractor of this project. And special thanks to SRC's full-time staff members who have devoted so much time to both the financial and design planning of this project, Executive Director Don France and General Manager Ryan Peebles.
The SAA also thanks the athletic department staff who provided their expert input into this project. Director of Recreational Services, Christy Gatto, varsity coordinators Ted Beal and Jay Schufelt, and all of the athletic staff. And of course, Manager of Athletic Events and Advancement, our dear friend, the late Bernie Lemieux.
Again, local architect, local construction, we celebrate Windsor, Essex, and we are ready.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If you're interested in what other info we have on the over $20 million sports park, then listen as Trisha Kundu gives you all the details.
The Dream Sports Park of St. Clair College is soon becoming a reality. The construction of the $21.5 million park started last Thursday and will take 10 to 12 months to complete. Vice President of Campus Development at St. Clair College, Ron Seguin, says how long it took to make this dream a reality.
We've had some very generous contributions from our Student Athletic Association and from members of our community, the Zeckelman family, Mike Schlater at Domino's, and the Windsor Family Credit Union. And when you add those 5 things together, they've made the park a reality.
The park will be mostly available for St. Clair students, but will also be made accessible to the general public.
So it's been a crazy morning in the media today, but if you're worried about not getting your crime of the week, fear no more. Amanda Allen is here. How you doing, Amanda?
Hi, thanks.
All right, it's great to have you back again. Now, of course, can you give us the crime of the week?
Yeah, unfortunately, we had a robbery that occurred on February 8th. Windsor police were dispatched to a convenience store located in the 3600 block of Matchett Road. And investigation revealed 2 suspects there had entered the store with their face concealed with clothing. And the first suspect actually walked right behind the counter and began placing merchandise right in the shopping bag.
Oh, so what did they get away with?
Well, they did get a quantity of merchandise and cash, and they did flee the scene, last seen eastbound from that location.
Okay, so we know what they did, we know what they got. Now, who are we looking for?
So suspect 1 is described as being a black male, medium build, 6 foot tall, wearing a yellow jacket with a dark hood, black gloves, and blue jeans. Suspect 2 is described as male black, medium build, about 5'7" to 5'9" in height, wearing a black Nike hooded winter jacket and a scarf concealing his face, gray pants, carrying a black Fit for Less duffel bag on his back. That clothing is something that we want people to take a look at.
And that Fit for Less bag can definitely stand out.
Absolutely. I know it's a popular chain, but when you start to put all those pieces together, it's helpful.
Oh, definitely.
And the Forensic Identification Unit did process the scene, so there will be some evidence there. Unfortunately, there was no injuries reported because that male did have a machete with him, so they are considered armed and dangerous.
Was there any chance that anybody saw this going on? Were there any witnesses at all?
Well, detectives do believe in this case that there were possibly some people that may have observed the individuals just prior to the robbery. So we're asking people to take your mind back February 8th in the area of the 3600 block to Matchett Road.
Okay, so this is a pretty solid one. We got an idea of who's out there. We got ideas of descriptions of them, specific things like that Fit for Less bag, and of course some witnesses. So hopefully that'll all work out. Now, how are people going to report this if they know anything?
Yeah, so we do have some photos up on our website, catchcrooks.com, and our social media, of course, at Sea Stoppers, and our Twitter and Facebook. But if people have information, go to catchcrooks.com, submit a tip. It's always anonymous. You won't have to go to court. You could earn a cash reward if you help us identify these people or recover the stolen property. Even recovering that large machete with a black handle. We want to get that off the street. So 519-258-8477, 24/7. It's always anonymous.
Okay, well, best of luck. Hopefully these people get caught for their crimes. Thank you a lot for coming in, Amanda, as always.
Thanks so much.
Okay, now, maybe you can just picture what that new sports park will look like when you close your eyes. Well, Mohammed Maki has a story on how some people want to help you picture things with your eyes open, thanks to virtual reality.
The president and CEO of Snapped, J. Paul Dutton, made the trip from Toronto to Windsor for a meeting at City Hall to give an information session about the potential benefits of using augmented reality technology in the community.
It's actually exploding. It's almost a little bit like we've invented the internet. So it adds a whole layer and depth around everything that we do, from printed materials, signage, logos, geofencing. It can bring a whole other layer of information and experiences to the community. And Windsor is an awesome community for us because it's already pretty wired and pretty smart.
Jeff Casey owns Snapped Windsor and was also at the information session. He says while the tech has great potential, it also comes with many challenges.
Well, challenges right now are just going to be getting the word out that we're doing it. So really, it's just going to be a matter of people picking up the publication now and seeing that they can download our new Snapped Hub app and just getting it going.
Snapped is hoping that this technology will improve the print industry by applying new technology that will revive it. For MediaPlex News, I'm Mohammed Maki.
So maybe you picture images in your mind when you hear music too? Well, I wonder what you picture with beatboxing when we dive into the minds of Sam Sinclair and Brett Blake with another episode of The Music Guys.
Music Guys. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Brett Blake.
I'm Sam Sinclair.
And we're The Music Guys. So this week we're actually going to be talking on something that's been talked about for a while, but I think we can shed some light onto it. What do you think about the Grammys?
I have a very strong opinion on the Grammys. I have for a while. I've always kind of thought they were ridiculous because it's always just names that they're always the safe wins. It's never what truly deserves it. Well, this year they were pretty good. I feel like a lot of the wins this year were pretty well deserved, with the exception of a few. But when it comes to it in the grand scheme of things, the Grammys are kind of just popularity, play it safe kind of contest.
I agree. Yeah, like the way I see it, like it's nothing like a Pulitzer Prize, like where if you get like a Pulitzer Prize, that goes on your resume and you're someone to be like sought after, and whereas like a Grammy is just kind of got it.
But even with other shows like the Oscars, I feel like they're even better than the Grammys, because with the Oscars you'll watch it and you'll see Best Picture and that lineup for those nominees, and they'll have movies you haven't heard of before, because they'll have indie movies, they'll have all these festival movies, and that I respect because it's truly good movies that are getting nominated. And that's not the case for the Grammys.
I know I had some friends that like looked in, that are like very film oriented, that like looked at some of the Oscars or the Golden Globes and all those, and they like thought like, oh, that's like a weird outcome, like, or like that didn't deserve that award. Okay. But with like the Grammys, it, like you said, it seems like a safe bet kind of thing, where everybody just kind of wins and everybody wins that. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not too fond of the Grammys.
No, I've kept my opinion until now. I don't think it's gonna change.
Yeah, and I think if I was a musician, I wouldn't really care too much if I won or lost. But yeah.
Well, that's it for us today. I'm Sam Sinclair.
I'm Brett Blake, and we're The Music Guys.
Music Guys. Do you ever curl up with a good song to cry over a bad relationship? Well, about a beat that makes your heart race for the love of your life. Valentine's Day was yesterday, but Caitlin Kenny is here to help you sort good relationships from the bad.
Welcome to the Think Tank, where I discuss topics I commonly think about relating to mental health, relationships, and personal goal setting. On this episode, I will be talking about the differences between healthy and toxic relationships. Disclaimer, I'm not a social worker or any type of doctor. Don't take my content to heart. It's around that type of year when you pull your loved ones close and tell them you love them by buying them chocolates and stuffed animals, and even taking them out to dinner. I figured this would be a good time to talk about what are some of the signs of a possible toxic and abusive relationship, and what types of things you could expect from a healthy one. Firstly, not all toxic relationships are caused by two unhealthy people. It can be a toxic individual who isn't capable of holding healthy relationships. These people can have a mental health disorder that affects their relationships, or it can just be a person who has some issues with manipulation and can't hold the relationships either. Toxic relationships can leave people emotionally and sometimes physically scarred. It can weigh the other person down and make them feel like they're worthless. And this doesn't help if your self-esteem is already fragile. Being stuck in those type of abusive and toxic relationships, it also means it's hard for the person to leave for the same reason. The person feels like they don't have a choice and that nobody else will love them. This is usually why people stay in those relationships, and the pattern continues with other people. Some signs of a toxic relationship could include not turning to them for support. They try and keep you away from family and friends. They imply that you're stupid or incompetent, not respecting choices or boundaries. They are dismissive of your emotions, they lie to you, and the list goes on. But those are just some of the basics. Breaking the cycle of abuse means cutting ties with the individual. That is the only way you can get better, especially if you have been constantly trying to make the relationship work with no success. By cutting the person off, you can then focus on bettering yourself from the damage they caused in your life and fix how you feel about yourself. In healthy relationships, the person actually makes you feel like you can do better and actually makes you feel loved and secure in that relationship. You never have to second guess yourself around that person, and you can confide in them and tell them how you feel about something in relationship or in life in general. Healthy relationships help you grow, and usually the other person wants you to succeed, and you'll never have to second guess about the relationship. You have a good communication with the other person, the relationship will last if you communicate and trust them. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Caitlin Kenny, and you've been listening to The Think Tank.
Now, we're halfway through Black History Month, and I'm told that Josie Richards is going to shine a light on some of her favorite representation in this week's Best Flicks on Netflix.
Thank you. Welcome to the Best Flicks on Netflix with your host, Josie Richards. As we get closer to the weekend, I know you all want nothing more than to sit back and relax. And what's a better way to relax than by lying on the couch and binge watching Netflix? That's where I come in. I'll be giving you a weekly recommendation on what I think are the best flicks on Netflix to watch. In honor of February being Black History Month, I'm going to be recommending shows with strong black leads. This week's show is Black Earth Rising, starring Michaela Cole, who you may recognize from her roles on Chewing Gum and Black Mirror. Black Earth Rising focuses on the aftermath of the Rwanda genocide, the ways the UN's involvement have been both helpful and detrimental, and the complexity of international prosecution. The show opens with a dark and soulful song paired with the evocative imagery of the African continent bleeding. We're introduced to Kate, played by Michaela Cole. She is a Rwandan Tutsi, a survivor of the Rwanda genocide, who was rescued and adopted by Eve Ashby, an international criminal lawyer. Though Kate bears physical and emotional scars from her traumatic past, she goes on to grow into a formidable woman and works as a legal investigator at the same firm as her mother. Tension sets in when Eve decides to take on a case prosecuting General Nyamoya, a leader of the rebel group that helped end the genocide. Brimming with anger, hurt, and confusion, Kate begs her mother not to prosecute the man who saved her people from slaughter. From there, the show becomes a dramatic quest for Kate to discover the truth of the genocide, which is heavily entangled with her own past. Here are 3 more reasons why I think you should check out Black Earth Rising. 1. The complexity. The Rwanda genocide is often painted in a very black and white manner, where you have the Hutu majority as the evil villains and the minority Tutsi as the innocent minority. Black Earth Rising suggests that at its core, the issue of genocide and war are far more complex, with neither side being purely innocent or purely evil. 2. The depth of character. Michaela Cole as Kate Ashby gives a stellar performance. She depicts Kate with emotional complexity that mirrors the intricacy of her life experiences. We can thank her emotional depth in part to the writers who really flesh out her character rather than relying on tropes and stereotypes of those living with trauma. And 3, it's thought-provoking. Though fictional, Black Earth Rising gives its viewers a lot to think about. It makes them question the role of the UN, the ethics of lying, and most importantly, the Rwanda genocide. Now, I don't know about you, But I didn't learn too much about this growing up, which I could attribute to being raised in Canada, but I was taught about the German Holocaust. Now, I think it's very important to delve into histories and events from all over the world so we can better understand why nations are the way they are today. And there you have it. Tune into the best flicks on Netflix with me, your host, Josie Richards, next week for another recommendation. Back to you.
A Windsor woman is proud of the stamp made commemorating her great-grandfather. Christine Jackson is celebrating the stamp that is being released to honor Albert Jackson, Canada's first black mail carrier. Born a slave in 1856, Jackson broke barriers in Toronto on May 12, 1882. The stamp can now be delivered across the country.
You know, if I ever used mail that often, because in the past I've always just emailed stuff as a kid, maybe I used the mail more, I'd be interested in using the stamp. But
and if I had the money for stamps, because we are college students, it's rough out here.
Yeah, my funding goes straight to gas and Tim Hortons. I'm not sure I can afford anything else. And there you have it. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of MediaPlex Friday Live. We are a presentation from the St. Clair College Journalism and Media Convergence program. Our production team consists of our producer Ryan Percy and your hosts Matt Flood and
Sam Sinclair.
This week we had contributions from Tate Harris, Emma Butler, Christian Bodwin, Caitlin Kenny, Cassidy McNay, Cody Wall, Jordan Ferris, Trisha Kundu, Mohammed Maki, Brett Blake, Sam Sinclair, and Josie Richards. And a special thanks goes out to Amanda Allen from Crime Stoppers. Now I'm Matt Flood. Have a great weekend and stay warm out there.